Hello, happy Saturday, and welcome to Step by Step Transformations. I hope your week went well and that you are having a wonderful weekend. This video was supposed to be up on Wednesday, and as you know, life happens and has a tendency at times to derail our plans. With that said, in today's video, I want to continue to talk on obstacles that get in the way of your goals. So stay tuned. Hey, so before we dive right in, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Natalie and I'm a Christian life coach. I work with working women like you to accomplish the goals that you actually care about. I show you how to get back on track, set your dream goals, and reach those goals by developing the laser focused and direct impact steps that will get you there. We work together using my customized signature coaching process and action plan. So, this is who I am. Feel free to reach out if you're ready to get from where you are to where you want to be. Thank you. Welcome back. Today, I am going to talk about how obstacles sometimes are allowed by God to save you from yourself. What do I mean? We all start down a road to achieve a goal that does not line up with God. Sometimes, when that happens, God will allow us to continue and potentially experience the consequences of our choices. Other times, God will step in and put in obstacles in our way to ultimately protect us from the consequence, of that experience and or steer us in another direction. So today, I'm going to share 5 scriptures that I feel are related to today's topic. They are James chapter 1 verses 2 through 4, Romans chapter 8 verses 28, Habakkuk chapter 2 verses 3, Genesis chapter 50 verses 20, and Romans chapter 8 verses 18. There are many examples in the Bible, so this list is not exhaustive. So let's get started. James chapter 1 verses 2 through 4. Trials and temptations. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. So let's talk about these verses. Trials are outward circumstances, conflicts, sufferings, and troubles encountered by all believers. Trials are not pleasant and may be extremely grievous. Troubles and difficulties are a tool which refines and purifies our faith, producing patience and endurance. Consider it a great joy, or consider it a pure joy, depending on your biblical interpretation. Biblical version that you're using. I read to you the NIV. In any whatever version you're using, it is a categorical command suggesting suggesting the need for a definitive decision to take up a joyful attitude. The natural human response to trials is not to rejoice. Therefore, the believer must make a conscious commitment to face them with joy. Believers should react with joy when faced with various trials because these outward circumstances, whether suffering, troubles, or conflicts, are the means through which God works in believers to prove a perfect faith to build endurance in the believer. The testing of your faith was not a means of affliction and destruction, but rather a way to refine and purify. Abraham's faith was tested in this way. The believer is asked to respond to trials with joy. Then, because she knows that trials are tools working to produce a deeper, stronger, more certain faith. The meaning of patience transcends the idea of bearing affliction. It includes the idea of standing fast under pressure with a staying power that turns adversities into opportunities. Only then will Christians be lacking nothing. Although God does allow testing through trials in the lives of believers, He cannot, by His own nature and character, test with the intent toward evil. On the other hand, Satan does tempt to do evil, and believers may fall into evil because of their own fallen natures. Romans chapter 8, verses 28. And we know that God causes all things to work together for the good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. And that was from the New American Standard Bible, the NASB. In His providence, God orchestrates every event in life, even suffering, temptation, and sin, to accomplish both our temporal and eternal benefit. The primary reference of all things is the suffering of this present. All circumstances will work together in cooperation for the believer's good. That is, the believer will be conformed to Jesus Christ now and reign with Him later. Our love is our response to the work of the Holy Spirit in us. God does everything, including redemption, in order to accomplish His overarching plan. God purposes good for believers. Paul did not say that everything happening is good in itself. Rather, he recognized that even problems and crises cannot derail a sovereign God. Because God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. He is faithful to bring ultimate good even from the most tragic happenings. Paul described believers as those who love God and who are called according to His purpose. God called believers to saving faith in Jesus Christ, and they responded. The specific good to which God causes all things to work is conformity to the image of Jesus Christ. Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 3. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens towards the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it. For it will certainly come. It will not delay. And this particular verse was read from the New American Standard Bible. Although a period of time would occur before its fulfillment, all were to know that it would occur at God's appointed time. An appointed time speaks of a determined time in God's eyes, not ours. God knows His plan and the outworking of all things in accordance with His purposes. The godly are responsible to study and proclaim His revelation while awaiting its fulfillment. The assurance of fulfillment lies in God Himself, not in us or anyone else. The fulfillment of the vision would not take any longer than God had planned. So our job is to be patient. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring about this present result, to preserve many people alive. Again, this verse is read from the New American Standard Bible. Who is speaking in this verse is Joseph. And Joseph's wise theological answer has gone down in history as the classic statement of God's sovereignty over the affairs of men. Joseph spoke clearly about how he viewed the events of his life. God transformed the evil of a group of men, which, if you remember from the story, or if you don't know, go back and read Genesis. the group of men were his brothers, into an exceedingly great work. God works his good plan even through the evil plans of evil people. The application of this verse to you could mean someone is attempting to keep you from achieving your goals, and they, of course, would be your obstacle. We never know until we see it in action how God will be glorified through someone else's evil intent. Romans chapter 8, verses 18. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that is to be revealed to us. And again, this verse is read from the New American Standard Bible. This verse looks forward to the resurrection of the body and the subsequent complete Christ-likeness, which is the believer's eternal glory. Paul calls the sufferings light affliction compared to the eternal weight of glory. The divine compensation package is 100-fold. This understanding put present problems in their right perspective. Believers must expect sufferings in life, but the greatness of the coming glory makes current difficulties seem light. So I want to thank you for stopping by and listening to my video. I hope you are able to see how obstacles that get in the way of your goals can sometimes be allowed by God to save you from yourself. They could also be caused by someone else to mean you harm. However, God would use that to bring him glory. Obstacles are not always bad, whether self-inflicted or from outside sources. We have to learn to expect them and know they are a part of life. If you are struggling to reach your goals and you would like someone to walk alongside of you, cheer you on, hold you accountable, and be that soft place for you to land, click on the link in the description box to sign up for a free discovery call. We will work together to see how I may best support you. Also, if you haven't downloaded my workbook on identifying your values, the foundations of your goals, that link is also in the description box. It will take you right to the page where you will be one click away from the workbook. Well, I pray that you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and until next time, take care and God bless.